MemeMichelle. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to have an amazing show today. Now, guys, I don't have my mics yet. I don't know what I did with them. I lost them. So, y'all have to speak up when you talk to people. And then, just so they'll let us know. So, give us the thumbs up if you can hear everybody. Make sure you join in. Make sure you ask questions. And share the episode while we're having the show. And do a watch party. Because everybody needs to know what we're talking about today. Because today we're talking about healthy lifestyle changes and choices. Baby, let me tell you something. It's summertime. It's hot. I don't need to be this thick. I just really need to lose a couple pounds. But before we get into that, we do have somebody that's running a little late. And I ain't even mad because he's a barber. So I know that, sometimes we get caught up with our appointments. Somebody may be late. Somebody that might be super nappy and get tangled up. It's a lot of things that can go wrong in our business. So, hey, we'll see you in a minute, Zazie. But we are drinking. Well, first of all, let me let y'all introduce yourself first before I talk about what we're drinking, because this is delicious. Anybody else? Go ahead.
Herb pathologist J. Allen Sr.
And I am Julia M. Ponce-Gilder, and I'm here because I have started the keto lifestyle.
Yes, sir.
Last year.
Tell me about your candles, girl.
All right. So I also have a business. It's called Couture Candles by Jules, and we put jewels on them, make them very beautiful. So this is one that we made for me. It's hashtag IJS.
What does it smell like?
This one is, I think Tahitian. Yeah, Tahitian, and it's like a tropical.
Okay, because I like that. And I'm gonna like that thing tonight. And I'm gonna let y'all know what it smells like. So we gonna put in the comments where to get the information. I'm gonna share it on my page. But before we get started, we are drinking, because it's hot outside. Can't have nothing too heavy. We are drinking a mango mimosa with a splash of peach crown. They don't have the peach crown in the store no more, so I wanted to bless my panel. But he's drinking a little healthy smoothie, because we all doing a lifestyle change. And at first I started to make y'all like a ginger apple lemon juice, but we ain't doing that today. But he has his smoothie. This guest right here, hey baby, how you doing? He doesn't drink, so we just got the mango orange juice for him. But the two of us that we throw in the bag, it's this particular Big Tex. I think they don't sell it in Texas, but everybody sells mango pineapple juice. So I put the mango pineapple juice in there with a bottle of champagne. I can never pronounce this champagne, so church to my head, not my heart. And then I put a shot of the peach crown in there. And boy, if y'all had pesto vision, and my camera lady got some too, so I hope she's not leaning before the show is over, because it is delicious. So today we're talking about healthy lifestyle changes and choices. And I have a lot of friends that have been doing lifestyle changes. Me, myself, back in February, I couldn't eat out my diet. It just made me feel really bad. It made me feel like I could never digest it. I stayed bloated. My stomach hurt every night when I went to sleep. No shade. Every night I couldn't lay on my side, on my stomach. So I just pretty much laid on my back on the other side. And I really did it for vanity reasons at first, because I was like, every time I stop eating meat, I lose weight. But I have to do that with accompaniment of workout. If I don't do both, I'll just maintain. So I took out red meat, although I took out pork. I do miss bacon. I love the bacon, and I miss you, and I love you, and maybe one day we could get back together for a little rendezvous, but as of right now, we can't. And every now and then I'll eat fish, because then I found out that I went to my aunt at the Women's Health and Fitness Center, and she had a pajama party, and there was a lady there drawing blood, and they would tell you your blood type and what to eat for your blood type. And I'm A positive, and I'm not supposed to have meat. So that's why I get sick. But a lot of black people can't eat meat. Like O positive positive. They can eat tons of meat. It don't bother them. And you probably
And
old. You're old. You're old, and that's why the keto works for you.
Yes.
And but go ahead, tell me what you're doing. We're gonna start from here. We're gonna work our way down. So I'm a pescatarian. That's a version of vegetarian. So if y'all see me eating fish, I'm like, I thought you didn't eat meat. Because Nicola said I'm a pescatarian. I still eat meat, I still eat cheese, and I still eat eggs from time to time. Your turn.
Well, basically, it's the alkalinity, and alkalinity is the basis of life.
Okay.
Life. When we talk about the blood is alkaline.
Right.
So, with that being said, regardless of the blood type, for the black race, period, when we talk about genetics, genetic black race, Queens, the king on the way for the entire black race, because of our genetic makeup, cosmic makeup, we're all basically made two, not in just meat. Acids. So when we talk about keto, now we have to look at the acidity from the diet itself. And first thing first, I just want to say, the lifestyle is basically what we look at because we want to make better choices.
So, off the pyramid, the food group, what do you eat?
Off the pyramid food group?
Like off like grains, like what do you consume? Because let me tell y'all why I'm asking him this. Y'all saw the promo. That don't look like the dude on the promo. He looks amazing. So what is your daily diet consist of?
So the biggest thing for the most with everybody that I deal with, it is the meat factor.
Okay.
So we go away from the meat factor, but just the texture is mushrooms, portobello mushrooms.
Okay.
So we even may utilize diuretic squash.
Okay.
Right? So we may even go to not necessarily no potatoes, but starch. And we can get into that later on about the starch.
That's fine. But
for the most
give him a thumbs up if you can hear him because he's talking in his
Real
radio
low.
voice.
So,
Yeah.
So for the most part, for the texture itself, it's mushrooms.
Okay.
I go to mushrooms. So the grains itself. And actually what I did was, I got on Dr. Sabi basically by accident. Accident. Because I was actually looking for something when I was just digging for some research for us. And what I did was, I wanted to get away from why are we just so high, number one, in high blood pressure, especially black men. Black men. So for the most part, for the men that I actually work with, because I actually train. And what I actually found was, it wasn't that I can't do it, but it's basically now, my mind is so far out, but my body is still here. And I found that it wasn't just the fact of the physical. The physical illness was the high blood pressure, poor circulation, poor blood circulation. Then it went to diabetes. You know, so now we're dealing with medications such as metformin. It won't increase my metformin, but increasing the metformin actually drops the blood sugar level
too low.
Right? So now, now we're dealing with, even with erectile dysfunction and impotence. Blood pressure.
Y'all don't need to eat your meat.
I'm saying that.
I need your meat to work. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm back.
I'm saying it because putting that information out, it left so many men, you get to a stage of depression. And so us at times it's hard to admit. Right? But you get to a point of stage of depression. You get to a point of stage now, I don't even want to take the medication. Which the medication is actually becoming a problem. So what I did with that was, now I took more focus to it and stopped asking questions, and I just went to YouTube. And what I typed in, when I typed in information, Sadie just popped up. And so now I just went to the first video, and here from the first video, now, this man, it's kind of like if we thinking of something, and we meet somebody who we don't even know, but that person is actually talking about what we're thinking. And this is how I got on Sadie, and I tell that story.
Dr. Sadie is true.
And so when I got on that, this is what I'm thinking, this is what this man is talking. Hold up, let me actually get it together and actually put more focus on this. And so what I did was start to dig just a little bit deeper. And I actually found that when we actually taking this high blood pressure, especially hydrochlorothiazide.
Break that down.
Hydrochlorothiazide?
Yeah, I've heard it before.
What it is basically they would call it the water pill. So that's pretty much the first stage of high blood pressure. right? So that's the first stage of taking your medication for high blood pressure, because what happens is salt retains water, right? Okay, so if salt retaining the water, and within the diet, we consume so much sodium, so it's water retention. Water retention against the arterial walls. And it's
This what would be.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so now if we're taking this, now it's acting as a chemically made a process direct. Okay, so now we're releasing, but at the same time, what's happening when we're actually releasing that water is actually stripping zinc from the prostate.
So tell me this, when you did your lifestyle change, tell me the process your body went through when you first start taking stuff out your diet.
The first thing that I actually...
I was in ketosis for a long time.
Okay. The first thing that I actually noticed and what I was dealing with for a long time was actually sinus issues. So when I went straight alkalinity, I'm talking if I actually get out a hot shower, I would have to blow my nose.
Okay.
We talking about sinus pressure.
Got you.
All the time. And especially being in Louisiana, the pollen levels are so high. And so many people actually get sick to where they actually have to take steroid shots to deal with the pollen, deal with the sinus issues. And you're thinking that basically it's normal because my parents maybe had it or somebody in my family. You're thinking it's normal, but it's really not. So that was the first thing that I noticed. And when we actually talking about mucous membrane obstruction. So now I'm actually going alkaline. So I'm putting no acid into my system. No acid into my system.
No acid means?
No acid means meat, uric acid, carbonic acid, right? Sugar, concentrated sugars.
Okay.
And within the actual diet that I actually have, I went to saving, but what I did was now I started putting more notes into even going into radiation. Radiation. How radiation actually affects you. That's chronic when you're dealing with bronchitis. That's chronic. But going to that, that's the first thing that I actually noticed when I went to alkaline. Alkaline, removing the acids, carbonic, uric, and lactic acid, of course. And then removing the starch as well.
So you eat no meat, no starches, no sugars. You just eat strictly, so you pretty much a vegan.
No, ma'am. Basically,
because you eat
not
cheese?
putting a title on it. Now putting a title on it, and I want to break this down as well too, and I don't want nobody to take no offense to it.
Okay.
Because my whole purpose, and I know that's
was
basically God, my purpose was to heal every body, every disease that actually came our way.
Okay.
And if you're thinking I'm crazy, I know I'm doing my job.
I know, because you look different.
Thank you.
I mean, like in the eyes, the skin,
Of course.
everything, the weight. The weight is one thing, but it's like, and they put so much in our food.
Of course.
So much is in our, even the stuff we supposed to eat. Because you're talking about Dr. Sadie. When I was doing because at first I was going to do a lot of research on Dr. Sadie and the keto. And then I was like, no, let's just sit back and have a conversation. And Dr. Sadie said something so profound. He said, a lot of black people, because of our root place where we're from, we're not supposed to have milk.
Of course.
That's why we're lactose.
Of course.
That's why other nationalities can eat milk and it don't bother them.
Right.
But most black people, you know, they're like, well, I can't eat ice cream in public. I'm gonna have to eat that at home. Or they'll say, I can't eat that cereal. I'm gonna have to eat that at home. And it's because our body rejects it.
Our body rejects it because we are more carbon-based. Carbon-based.
He is educated, dang you. We got questions.
This is
They ain't saying nothing.
This is interesting.
More carbon-based within the brain, on the brainstem, higher carbon-based than any other race, especially the Caucasian race.
Okay.
More carbon-based in the digestive system, higher carbon-based in the digestive system, which means that the acidity levels, we are more sensitive to the acid, being that we're higher carbon base. Higher carbon base means that there is a higher life. And what I mean by that is...
Oh, wait till he get here. Y'all be chiming right on here.
Yeah, the carbon base is associated with melanin again.
Okay.
Associated.
So you do something totally different.
Yeah. So, And that was interesting. I'm like, okay, yeah. I've tried every diet you can name. Started gaining weight. You know, after you have children, I have 4 children. You gain, you lose, you gain. I've tried Atkins. I've tried counting calories, and so you know the keto thing was. I was like, okay, let me try it. And I actually, I started last July.
And she looks amazing too. I ain't gonna cut you off, but I see, like I have people on the. I'm having people on the show today that put their money where their mouth is because I see the work.
Yeah, so that's why I started working out. That was the hard part, working out. But I started to like working out too, and so I just decided let me do keto, and I was losing, and then I looked up the intermittent fasting with it, and you know you go on YouTube, you try to make sure you're eating the right things, and so that's how that all got started. So I ended up losing about 38 pounds so far.
How does it struggle? Okay, let me ask you, what does the keto diet consist of?
So 70%, they want you to have mostly fats, which that's like the Atkins. Yeah, that's what got me. Well, Atkins is different because Atkins, they want you to have more meat. So they want you to have more protein than anything. This is different. They want you to have more fats. And I'm like, oh, I can eat fats, you know. But if you think about it, it's really hard to eat a lot of fat.
It is.
70%, they want you to have avocados, MCT oil. You know,
what's MCT oil?
And so that's like a mix of coconut oil. It's a mixture that they put together that you can put in your coffee. You can put it, you know, cook with it. And so that's basically it. Not a lot of meat, which I struggle with, but a lot of bacon. You know, they want you to have a lot of fat. So you want to have the 70% of fat, 30% protein, and then about 10% carbs.
Now, tell me how that works. Like, because I know I would be dead if I did the keto.
But it's really not that bad. So a typical day for me, I don't start eating until 11 a.m.
Okay.
So I eat.
So you intermittent fasting.
I'm intermittent fasting. So I do my 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's my time frame. So the first thing I do is I'll eat some eggs with avocado.
Okay.
Then I might have a smoothie. So I like the Atkins smoothies. I'll drink a smoothie, or I'll make my own with spinach. They can't have a lot of fruit. You can only have berries. That's a struggle. That's a struggle because I love mangoes and pineapples, but that's all sugar. So
I jacked you up today.
So yeah, smoothie. Then I may have. Sometimes I'll do a broth. They have like a bone broth. I might drink a bone broth. For lunch, maybe a salad, some chicken or fish. I'm trying to stay away from the beef, but still, you can still have the meat. And then for dinner, maybe like some cucumbers sliced up. So it just depends. I just mix it up, and that's my typical day.
That's your typical, because I follow you on Instagram and I follow you on Facebook, and you be cooking.
Yes. So I have to cook. Got 4 kids, husband.
So do you cook the same thing for everybody?
I don't.
Okay, so you have to do
it was interesting what you were saying about high blood pressure, because my husband has high blood pressure.
Okay.
And we just, like 3 weeks ago, went to the emergency room because he skipped his pills. And so, you know, I don't know why he skipped pills. Every now and then I forget.
Because they don't like the way they make them feel.
Of course. And so he was dizzy, he was throwing up, and I was just like, oh my God. So they don't do the keto. I'm doing keto, and I cook something separate for them. And I may make something where I know I can have it on the side, and maybe make some like zucchini noodles or something else with it. But
so did y'all have accountability like when you first started? Because I know for me, a light bulb had to come on. It was just like I had put on so much weight. Cause like maybe this is 2019. Like in 2017, I lost a whole lot of weight. I was in a 2-piece bathing suit.
You did.
And I did the same thing. I just cut meat out as much as possible. I went to Salada every single day because Salada has fresh fruits and vegetables for your salad. So that's pretty much how I live. But I know without preparation, you bound to fail. So I would get up every morning. I would make my smoothies, and my smoothies consisted of, like, I don't really like to bring the fresh fruit in my house because I don't like gnats. So I'll get the frozen fruit in the bag, but then I'm like, the preservatives. Like, how are they preserving this fruit, like, to make it be fresh? You know, it's like, that's what scares me, because my mom was a cancer survivor. But I stopped eating popcorn in a bag. I pop my own popcorn now. I use avocado oil and I pop my own popcorn. You know, it's like, those are the things that make you successful. But did y'all have accountability partners? Because I was by myself.
I did. I have, my cousin, because everyone struggles. They're like, okay, let's do it together. Then you have people that fall off and you still doing it by yourself. But the reason why I did it, just like you, I gained a whole lot of weight. In 2017, I didn't know that I was depressed. I was like,
Gotcha.
Very, very, and didn't even realize how depressed I was. I lost my best friend to cancer. My nephew/cousin, because I basically raised him, was committed suicide. Aunt died of cancer that year. So 2017,
This was heavy.
it was heavy. So I started, the gaining of the weight, eating, didn't care, drinking. And so I had gained a lot of weight until it got to a point where I was like, okay, enough is enough. I need to get this body in control. But
it's hard. It's
and you try to research, and I tried the whole don't eat meat, and that didn't work.
Because a lot of people say,
but
I
want to try, but it's like, it's hard.
Like, a lot of people say they try, like, they don't eat meat. Because my cousin, she says, if I don't eat meat, I gain weight.
Oh, wow.
And she's really, like, thin. She said, but if I don't eat meat, I gain weight. But when I start eating a lot of meat, the weight just starts coming off. Then some people, like how you went for a whole different angle. I love that though. I know that when I eat meat, I feel terrible. My skin breaks out, my legs swell up. Like a lot of fluid on my legs. And when I broke out into a rash one day, I was like, what the hell?
Wow.
It's so much in our food.
Yeah.
So what kind of advice could you give somebody that wants to do your lifestyle?
Well, this is the lifestyle.
Yeah.
What I would say. And if you're actually going into health, dealing with depression, dealing with anxiety, dealing with stress, dealing with high blood pressure, dealing with diabetes, Parkinson's disease, looking at those things and how much all of these diseases are pretty much derived from one issue. And you go to concentrated sugars, the concentrated sugars. So the concentrated sugars, we're talking light sugars, we're talking refined, enriched, we're talking all of these foods that are actually sprinkled with sugar, concentrated sugar.
Yeah, because people don't know. McDonald's French fries is sprinkled with sugar.
If you actually look into the back and McDonald's, that's what you would see, sugar packs all over the place.
Yeah.
Because we have to get you addicted. Once we get you addicted, and that's what the government called Piper's cravings. And that's pretty much what
You better speak.
What is it?
Make sure we got questions. So I know they're like, what the hell is this man?
That's basically it's basically a part of a system that's basically designed to get the consumer addicted to. Because if you taste the pesticides and the herbicides,
Yes.
foods,
Yes.
so I have to put something on there. Basically, now it's an emotional attachment to the food. That's why people have so much going on in their head. If I don't eat meat, I'll gain weight. If I do eat meat, this is
Because I know it's the sugar.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, when I cut out meat in my diet, I also cut sugar out too.
Right.
And let me just say, because I know sugar's in a lot of things, I cut out like pastries. Because I like chocolate chip cookies. That is my drug of choice.
That's my weakness. Brownies, chocolate chip cookies, bread. Ooh,
Baby girl, look on there and see if we have any questions.
When you look at the concentrated sugar, that's going to actually, it's a dehydrated food. Unless it's the sugar cane, natural sugar cane. Everything else is concentrated, even to your honeys. And a lot of people think that.
So, do you not do honey?
No, ma'am.
Oh,
No,
really?
ma'am.
Oh, Lord,
The only sugar that
nothing.
Well, the only sugars that are actually on the list itself is the agave nectar because it's gluten-free.
Okay.
And dates.
That's what my sister makes. Let me tell you, my sister, she use all that stuff you talking about. That's what she do. She hit me
So
so
agave is better than honey.
Oh yes, definitely. Agave is actually from the agave plant itself.
Okay.
And so when you get a lot of information online, basically you have a group.
Girl, he giving us the
You have a
business.
group that will actually
When she came out, I need that information.
you have a group that will actually give you information, but it's not consistent with us.
Okay.
And our genetic makeup is consistent with them. And so what I want to say earlier, I don't want to offend nobody.
Gotcha.
That's why I don't have a title associated
With what you
me,
do.
because I don't want to start speaking on political and social language of a European science.
You better do what you need to do.
African science.
But we gonna hit this. Everybody that speaks, I'm gonna keep you in constant prayer. Because everybody that speaks like you speak, something happens to them. Because Dr. Sadie, that's what his whole thing was, getting the black race healthy. And he was saying that he could cure herpes, you could cure AIDS, you could cure high blood pressure, and pharmacy is big business. And he was curing people.
This is what I did after that. I went to the herbs. I went to making my own compounds. So when you have people calling and saying,
what you mean making your own compounds? Make it plain for a sister, because I understand, but I want them to understand.
digestive issues, you have
Okay.
digestive issues. So I found that even within our race itself, again, a high carbon rate within the digestive system, we're more sensitive. So
Okay.
now we eat meat. Certain meats actually have certain effects. A lot of pork, you will get that worm. Eat up the brain.
Okay.
We're talking lamb. Lamb actually contains lanolin.
Okay, what is make it plain? Oh, come on, Dorian, I need you to be here. Because he speaks your
The
language.
anthrax, and that's something we could talk about later.
wow.
Yeah,
No, we're gonna talk about
that's a whole
that
different
now.
ballgame. We even talk about the concentrated sugar. Basically, they would say the bleach, but what they're not actually telling us is the concentrated sugar actually comes from cow bone char. That's where the white comes from. Of course. So this is information. So now going to the compounds themselves.
Okay.
Onto the compounds, you may have digestive issues. A lot of people dealing with depression, dealing with anxiety, dealing with stress. So the thing of it is, with the meat itself, I don't go to the health and wellness factor. I go to peace and serenity. Peace within the body, serenity within the mind.
You gotta hear that? That's a word.
Yes.
If you eat for peace. Because a lot of times, especially we as a people, when we sad, we eat.
Yeah.
When we celebrate,
That's that
we
whole
eat.
depression. You just always eating something.
Girl, I got a raise. Let's go eat.
Yeah.
We eat
Yeah.
for everything.
Yes.
And when you eat for peace, you won't have to do that.
Wow.
Well, I wish I had my note. That's going on my vision board. From now on, eat for peace.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because if you eat for peace, none of that other stuff even matters.
Of course.
So
But
it's
won't
a
even
mind,
do it.
it's a mind thing.
But I'm gonna drink for peace too. I'm gonna refill my glass. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so when you go for peace and serenity within the mind.
We got some Brandon.
So what
They
is
said
your
nothing.
typical day? What like
Quiet.
on a typical day? Give me your rundown of what you eat. I'm curious.
In the
You
morning,
finna change the game.
in the morning is definitely the herbs themselves. In the morning,
So in the morning,
yeah, in the morning it's the herbs themselves. When I actually place the compounds together, I do it with a female and a male principle. I'm going back to science.
You gotta speak up because I know they can't hear that.
We have to address it when I put the herbs together, and this is actually going from a couple of years of just looking at saving. Not only saving, but just actually doing the research, and I have to study, and I have to go real deep. This is coming from the persecution, things that I went through,
Okay.
making a transition actually put me here, because definitely did I want to be here in this position, talking the language, but this was God that put me
Yeah.
here.
All right,
This was
now.
hard work.
yes.
So I have no choice. So now, with that being said, I go to the herbs themselves.
Okay.
And in the morning, like I say, the female and the male principle.
So the male herbs that a man would take would be different than the herbs that.
Now we're talking about basically the female and male principle. Female and male principle. The female is art.
Okay.
The male is electrical.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So the
Okay.
female and the male principle. So when you put it together, everything is one.
Okay.
Everything is one. So if I were to actually address even myself.
Cause he got a smoothie in that cup, y'all. That's why he not drinking this
Okay.
oil when we drinking.
Of course, it's first thing it would be dandelion root,
Okay.
ginger,
My favorite.
of course, ginger, sage, and this is what I actually utilize for dementia, small parts of dementia, Alzheimer's, sage, memory, right? And then we maybe go to electrifying, because all the herbs are electrical, no acidic herbs. And I had to go a little bit deeper on that too when we talked the peppermint, the aloe vera,
Yep.
those type of herbs.
He said those-
Comfreys.
That's
You
not.
have to get away from that because it's not doing the body any justice
Really?
when you're talking about healing, because it's
Yeah.
still an acidic source.
I did my
You
research.
you cannot cure, or pretty much you can't solve a problem at the same basis it was created. So if we talk about even cancer, the acidic procedures, we talk about chemo,
Yeah.
right? And physicians want to go to bone marrow.
Mhm.
But here it is, killing off all the cells.
Yep.
Kill off
Yep.
all the cells.
Yep. Because chemotherapy will kill the cancer, but it kills everything else.
And so the thing of it is,
And your body's never the same.
what are the doctors or physicians really treating with this? Because you got to understand, the cells, we talk about a division. A cell don't divide, cells grow. Corpuscles, they divide. They're actually small organisms within the blood cells, white blood cells, they divide. So if you actually may start off with cancer basically in prostate,
Okay.
they may divide and grow, maybe in the esophagus, maybe in the lungs. So by the time you go to the physician actually checking you in the lungs and not actually in the prostate itself. And so they give you this procedure now. Now you have chemo, which is a business. Chemo is a business.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. It's big business.
So in order for you to actually cure it, the blood cells, they need oxygen. The cells need oxygen to survive as cancer. Oxidizing the blood.
Because they say cancer lives in everyone.
Basically what it is now we actually will put you in a state of remission,
Right.
which is just sleep.
Okay.
And a lot of people think that it's a good thing because I'm in remission, which is really not.
Okay.
Just sleep. All I need to do is just bang on the door just a little bit louder, and it's right
And when
there.
it comes back with a vengeance.
Come back with a vengeance. Because while it's asleep, at the same time, it's still working. The body is so dynamic. The body is dynamic. Even when you
It's self-healing.
antibody, it is so, and that's what
Everybody's
it is.
saying you're a book of knowledge.
Yes.
I think
This is interesting.
this is just, I'm talking being in this place right now and just sharing. And this is basically what I actually had, the vision, just to come and just to spew this information.
So let me ask you a question without being too personal. And if I'm being too personal and you don't want to answer the question, you could just say, I don't want to answer that. Were you sick? And that's what made you do this?
Of course. High
What-
blood pressure. High blood pressure. Actually, I'm a child that came up eating a lot of cereal. A
Okay.
lot of cereal.
It's a lot of
And
stuff in
so-
cereal.
I mean,
Just getting a little older.
Oh, it's like
Yeah.
a lot of stuff in like the cereal that you give kids. It has
You have-
come on, help me out.
Basically,
Poison like that
just
you
to narrow it down
kill.
to the
Like,
starch. Just the starch and wheat. So when we talk about wheat, we're talking about
I hope it ain't no
shredded
wheat.
wheat, any types of wheat, old brands. If you basically leave a Cheerio in water, you see how it sweats.
yeah.
right.
So just think about when it's wheat, and we would say that it's shredded wheat, so it's high fiber. But at the same time, what's happening within the digestive system is actually bloating you up because wheat your rides.
Yes.
Actually utilized for animals, to ball animal blood.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
at one time, you would actually see when I take a photo, it seems as though I was pregnant because you can actually see it right here.
So you used to eat a lot of bread.
A lot of breads. A lot of breads. And
Even
so now what I do
so
is,
this will be the last episode we will have pretzels because I serve pretzels because if I serve your alcoholic beverage, I don't want you getting into no accident because you need to soak up the liquor. But now I'm gonna have to do a fruit tray or a vegetable tray or something.
okay,
Okay,
you can go to
continue.
your breads. You can actually use the teff. You use the teff grain. You can actually use garbanzo beans. You can use the amaranth.
Because
Also,
Jesus had unleavened bread.
of course, you can actually use the quinoa. All of those.
Come on, King, that's one of my favorites.
Gluten free. All of those are gluten free.
Okay, tell me about gluten. Because you know, I keep hearing this gluten free, gluten free.
Well, the thing about gluten is, gluten will actually.
Is it gluten in my crown? I gotta keep it light, y'all. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We have gluten and we have the starch. And the thing about gluten is a chemical. Gluten actually contains what they actually call sulfides. When you sulfide is pretty, gluten is pretty much like the lactic acid in milk.
Okay.
So sulfides, ingesting the gluten, sulfides come in. Gluten is actually robbing the body of oxygen as well. That's what's going on with your gluten. So actually putting in that chemical sulfide. Same thing as somebody would say, okay, I'm a vegan, so I go to tofu for protein. Right? So if you go to tofu for protein, now the tofu actually contains silicone. Or silicone.
Okay. That makes sense. Because tofu is just a blob of something.
Curd. That's all it is curd. It's curd.
So do you eat tofu?
I do not. I don't eat tofu.
Because you know, I used to eat tofu because when I it's stupid. When I used to eat tofu because you know when you don't eat meat, tofu will taste like anything you season it. You know, if you want to make it like a hamburger, it's gonna be a hamburger.
Jackfruit.
Yeah, it's the Shazam.
Of course.
But okay, I don't eat that no more. So continue on. It's like a big ball.
Basically, yeah, that's the thing with the gluten. Just actually spewing in more sulfides into the system.
Okay.
Toxicity. With the starch, basically with the starch causes or wreaks havoc on the brain. That's why even for the keto, you may see people that say, well, I heard keto was basically utilized for epilepsy. So keto has been around for a long time.
I saw that.
Along with the Atkins diet. What people saw was basically, we take carbs away. We take carbs away.
But carbs is your brain food. It's like that, like the energy.
Carbs are not the energy.
You know, I'm not talking about like like this carb, but I'm talking about like. Okay, so what gives you energy?
Iron.
Iron.
Gives all of us energy. That's the blood
And
source.
constipation.
No. Yes, it will. And I want everybody to get this here.
And the only reason
It will constipate.
I say that is because I'm
Anemic.
anemic.
I was
Severely
But let me
anemic.
clarify that. The oxide.
I was anemic.
So oxides, iron oxides, they will constipate you. Iron phosphate is what the body is made of. That's
Okay.
the alkalinity. So putting these herbs together, putting the compounds together, I give you phosphates. I give you phosphate.
So what's a good? Because I know I eat spinach for iron.
Okay.
What are some good iron sources?
Because it's like
Iron-rich
liver.
foods. I don't like
People
them.
will tell you liver, spinach, kale, eat a lot of root. So that's not.
Basically, I go to the iron sources from raw sesame seeds. I go to amaranth.
What is that?
Amaranth, that's a grain, or of a Mexican grain.
And what do you put on that? What do you cook? What do you do with it?
Amaranth is pretty much the original form of your popcorn.
Okay, all right.
They're really small.
Okay.
Small. All you do is basically you don't need no oil. So you just heat up a little saucepan, and you just take the grains and you pour them in and they pop out.
Okay.
And it makes like a popcorn.
It's pop like a popcorn, but they're real small.
Small.
But they contain high amounts of.
And what do they taste like? Because you know we as black people, it's got
serious for
It
taste.
got to be good.
And that's
Well,
my
hot
thing
sauce.
when I went to actually for taste, because knowing that I'm gonna take everything away from. But the catch-22 is, for me, basically, if I give you what you like, you're gonna get sick.
So you
So if I
eat to
take away,
live.
you're gonna get mad.
You eating to live, not living to eat. So it could be nasty as hell, but you just gonna.
But basically now,
Damn,
by
that's
us knowing how to survive, because we are people of love and we know how to survive. And so being that knowing how to survive, you can take that quinoa flour and you can add these herbs to this quinoa flour and you can get it to your taste.
So let me ask you this good old question. So how do you go out? Because you know, when I first met him, I was at one of my favorite places, First Watch, and I didn't look and see what was on his plate, nothing like that. But I just knew he was slim. How you go out and eat?
It may be lime water. It may be.
So you be like, while she getting it in,
Lime.
come on in, boy.
So what's the difference between the limes and the lemons? Hello.
Hello.
His way.
What's going on here?
What's going on?
But I understand you have OJ.
So lime water. Because I always say, give me lemon water. And then when you research, because I do my research, and they're like, drink a glass of hot water every morning when you wake up and squeeze some lemon in it with some apple cider vinegar, because that's what I do every morning faithfully.
Okay.
Whether I hate it or not, I still
So
do
no
it.
apple cider vinegar because of the acid.
Well, not the
I made
apple
a little
cider
apple.
itself, but the apple cider vinegar actually stresses the liver, which is concentrated sugar. stresses the
I
chemicals.
told you.
And I've been drinking it every morning.
Right.
Because okay, you see how he looks. That's how I knew he was doing something that he does. Because
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you take a break because you've been really giving it your all today. So, sir,
More apple cider vinegar for me.
introduce yourself and tell them about your lifestyle.
I'm Zazie Cleveland. Nice to meet y'all. Nice to finally get here. I got a little tangled up in the traffic. Yeah, I've been a vegetarian for about 6-7 years. And one day I woke up, I was like 205, I'm 5'8", and I was just sleeping real hard and didn't like the way I was feeling. I was having a lot of different aches and pains and different ailments that was bothering me, and I was just like, I don't like this weight. So I just cut it off. So
Cold turkey.
changed, cold turkey. It was like one day it was Buffalo Wild Wings, and the next thing it was Casey's dinner.
So,
And it's been that way ever since.
do you eat eggs? Or like?
Chicken fetuses? No, I don't.
Do you eat cheese?
No.
So he's a true vegan. So are you vegetarian or
Sometimes
vegan?
I'm a vegetarian.
Okay.
Sometimes I may have some cheese because I'm a cheese rat. But I don't do it like I used to. I used to sometimes
No, he
just get
doesn't.
a block of cheese and just
Oh,
eat cheese and
wow.
crackers and just eat them. But now I can't even do that.
Because when he told me he didn't eat meat, I remember the first, because we've been friends a long time. And I remember the first meal he made me, it was chorizo and eggs. Man, I'm like, let's do that in the kitchen, making chorizo and eggs. So tell me how you start your day.
Usually I wake up, alkaline warm water, and then I go to the gym.
Okay.
And then after the gym, I usually will make a fruit smoothie with collagen.
Okay.
With collagen, which helps the skin, and moringa.
What's that? I mean, we got to speak up. We ain't got mics.
Moringa is
Oh my
it's
goodness.
a
I have that tea.
yeah, it's like a I can't really break it down. I can't break moringa down, but it's a few of them. But I also take a supplement that I've been making, which is burdock root, dandelion root, sarsaparilla, purple Irish moss, and like I said, it's a combination that I take a shot of it every morning.
Is it
You
good
make your
or
own.
No, it's a bitter taste. It's a taste that you can't.
That's what you have.
It's a taste that you can't.
you can't get past?
You can't get past the taste, but at the end of the day,
But if you can do apple cider vinegar,
yeah,
I'm sure you
exactly,
can do anything.
exactly. But it's a little worse than apple cider vinegar.
So, go ahead. I don't know.
even with oregano oil,
Mm-hmm.
mix it all, and then like I say, I take that, and I don't have too many problems. And really, with that, all of that helps to purify the blood, and as well as it helps to it helps weight loss.
Yes, he was been talking about that the whole time.
So, I mean, because you're not, the food that you're eating, you're not getting the nutritional value out of it. So, most of the stuff that I'm telling you I'm taking usually kills most of the
Ailments.
right, the ailments, impurities, and bacteria and stuff like that in the body.
So you know what? What's today's date? You know, because I stopped eating meat. I stopped eating meat back in February. You don't eat fish no more either?
Mm-mm.
God, dog.
See, I was like, if I don't do meat, I have to at least
No
have
eyes.
fish and shrimp.
Well, this is what he told me one day. He said, do you realize the meat you eat, you take on their personalities?
Of course.
What does that mean?
The meat you eat, you take on that animal's personality.
Right.
Like the man you date. That's why when in marriage you become one.
Exactly.
And when that man go into you, just like you be acting like him. He not gonna act like you. Because women are receivers, men are depositors. So that made all the sense in the world to me. The animal that I eat, I'm acting like a damn animal. That's why we all crazy.
So now to add fuel to the fire.
Come on with it.
Starch along with the meats. And so you go to your healthy starches, they would say. We go to potatoes, we go to spinaches, the healthy starches, carrots. That's enough. The healthy starches. But we gotta understand that a starch is a starch. And what's inside the starch is cyanide. Cyanide inside the starch. That causes me to say, I hate you. That's my brother. That causes me to curse you out. That causes me to actually act in a certain manner. Irate, abrupt.
So you saying that when you changed your lifestyle, it changed your temperament?
Basically, the temperament.
I say yeah.
The temperament actually goes to something so
Mild.
mild. You just, because you get away from now the starch. And let's go to the cyanide again because I want to let people know. When you look at almonds, right?
Okay.
You're going to see almond milk, every shelf, everything with almonds. That's the good thing for you, right? Almonds contain cyanide.
Damn.
Right?
Wow.
So now when you go to the European language, moderation. When you ever hear moderation, a physician say moderation.
Eat in moderation.
Eat in moderation. If my blood sugar levels are off, right? There's no way I can maintain eating in moderation, still bringing in concentrated sugar.
Okay.
Right? So now we talk about the cyanide to the starch going to the brain. It alters the brain waves, and it alters the resonance. When I'm talking resonance now, I'm going to the glands, the pineal and pituitary.
Okay. Okay.
Right? So now we're going a little bit deeper. Now we're going to serenity within the mind. And we're dealing
That's
with
why
this
they
side.
try to kill Dr. Sabi.
Of course. Right? So knowing when I say a higher carbon base, the pineal gland is carbon, black. So now we have carbon stem cells on the brain as well. That's why we're a higher carbon base. That's why we're more sensitive. So understand that when you ingest these starches, right? And when you ingest this meat, now put it together. Along with salt, which is going to retain water, along with concentrated sugar, which is going to dehydrate the nerves, pour moisture out of tissues, moisture out of nerves, moisture out of veins. So now we have Parkinson's disease.
Come on now.
Now we have
Educate.
senile dementia. Now the pancreas is so stressed, so now we're going blind. And again, basically with the smoothie that my brother puts together, that's why I'm actually.
He making my smoothies look like a damn.
Yeah.
I need bragging on it. See what I do in the morning. I'm smoothie and shit.
Because you know Asians have a certain
Diet research how they
Yeah.
eat. And
Because they don't drink
live a
cold
long
stuff.
time. Like
But the thing of it is,
they live till like 120.
a thing of it is when we go down to the Asians, because we're not Asians, we're not Caucasians, we're not Indians, Ayurvedic.
So we
They
can
utilize milk. Microbiota is Japanese, right?
Yeah.
Yin and Yang is Chinese,
Mhm.
right? We're African. So some way along, we can leave here right now, and we'll never see our culture on the plate. We can eat Italian food.
Right.
We can eat Japanese food. We'll
Well,
never
except
see
for
our
Japanese
culture.
Culture on the plate.
We'll never see our culture on the plate. So now, how did we eat?
Yeah.
That's the question. How did we eat? What did we eat? Right? So now I'm taking it back. The alkalinity. Alkalinity. So we have to go back to basically what the body is consistent or cosmically made of. And that's from the earth. And basically knowing now spiritually, this is where the spiritual relevant actually comes into play.
But Jesus returned fish and 5 loaves of bread.
See?
So is it like the paleo? So
With the paleo. Cause I'm saying
I don't know what the paleo is.
we're
Somebody.
only eating what the cavemen eat or whatever.
Oh,
Again,
Biblically.
and so we have to take this back to African science,
Okay.
right? We
She
have to
is-
take it
I'm
back
African.
to the African science, and you actually know. That's why that keto is
It's not.
the lifestyle again. We don't want to attack nobody,
Yeah.
but it's just making a healthy lifestyle. But
Yeah.
the thing of it is actually knowing how to. It's knowing. It's knowing. If I know brown rice is just as bad as white rice,
Okay.
digest it because it's still,
So that's why we substitute quinoa for rice.
and wild rice,
Wow.
Okay.
and wild rice.
If y'all have questions, ask questions because they got the knowledge, and I'm soaking it up because I'm gonna make some change.
Me too.
So you, give me your input, bruh.
I mean, he hitting it on the head.
Yeah.
He definitely hitting it on the head. And like I say, I've been studying more and more and more about it as time goes by because people always ask me, they're like, man, you look good. Your skin changing.
Yeah, we're looking young.
Exactly. The lady told me the other day, she was like, why are you Benjamin Button? I was like, yo, I'm just trying to live a healthy lifestyle as best as I can. I mean, if you don't take care of your body, then who else is gonna do it? Nobody else is gonna do it. So it's and when you really like keep breaking down the science of it, when you go into the science of it, you really start to pay attention to a lot of stuff. Like we was talking about fruit, and we went to the farmer's market on Tuesday. And a friend of mine was like, you need to go to this farmer's market with me. So I was like, all right, I'll meet you up there. And we got up there, and she was like, why you didn't get anything? It's like, because that's the same stuff I see
At the
at
grocery
HEB.
store.
It's like, there's nothing different. She was like, well, they had something that was, they had some watermelons that was, they had seeds. And I was like, no, they didn't. All of that was seedless. And she was like, how can you tell? How can you tell? So I was looking at them and telling them, I was like, do you know what's the difference between a male watermelon and a female watermelon? And she was like, I didn't even know it was a difference. And I was like, one's sweeter and one is juicier. So, and then I was breaking down the bell peppers to it. It's a male and female bell peppers. And, you know, it's a duality to everything. And, you know, as like I say, as you get into it, you just start paying attention to a lot of things that are out there. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's all about what you want to do with yourself.
So this is my question. Because that nice young man said he don't eat for taste. He just eat the lip. So
exactly.
do you eat for taste? Because I know you used to eat for taste.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was the dude that literally.
He called himself the fat boy, and he wasn't even fat.
Exactly. My nickname is Dope.
No boy.
Exactly. But I mean, one day he just literally was like, I'm done. And I just felt better, and I just started just kind of making little salads and fruit snacks and fruit trays. Like I can put together a salad, 3 different salads for you, and then can put together 3 different fruit salads for you, and you'll literally eat all of them like you was eating a steak.
Yeah, because this is what I noticed. When I went to eating, because I try to eat mostly raw, right? I do my best. But when I eat that, I get full, I get satisfied, and I'm not hungry 10 minutes later. Like, I can actually go to Salada, get me a salad, and it sustains me. Like, I don't have nothing else.
Right.
But the salad ain't little. I get the biggest one they have, and I put all my greenery on there. All of it. And even I put fruit on there. So tell me, because I'm finna cut out, because they already told me I ain't supposed to have corn, so I don't put corn on the salad no more.
Corn fake too.
Yeah, corn is fake, broccoli is fake.
Carrots.
I don't like carrots. So
Cauliflower fake.
I don't really eat cauliflower. So
carrots, we eating a lot of them fake too.
tell me what fruits and vegetables y'all eat and what fruits and vegetables to avoid. Go.
Fruit and vegetables, everything seeded. That's first base.
Yes, they say seeded is real.
And to
Which is difficult.
break down I'm gonna say for acid reflux, because I deal with that a lot. A lot of people with acid reflux. So I go to the fruit that will basically help sustain, like bureau bananas, no milk, magnesium. Bureau bananas will actually act as a coating.
Okay.
Real bananas.
Bureau bananas is the baby banana.
Okay.
Smart, they will act as a coating for the uric acid. Then we go to strawberries. Then we go to, let's say, a cucumber itself.
Okay.
Prickly pears.
Okay.
Prickly pears. We will go to, let's say,
You do bitter melon?
no,
You do bitter melon?
no bitter melon. But melon's all good,
Okay.
all seeded. Seeded watermelon,
Cantaloupe.
cantaloupe, seeded, they're good. Grapes, seeded, right? We go to, let's see,
What about pomegranates?
pomegranates,
Pomegranate is great.
seeded,
Okay.
all seeded. Basically no seedless fruits.
Apples.
Apples. Be mindful of the apples. Now you're studying more of industrial agriculture.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
So now you have to be mindful of the apples.
So what apples? Because I only like green apples.
Green
Granny
apples.
Smith.
Probably the best.
And now you talk about the apples themselves, but apples still, when you talk about the hybrid factor, of course, everything in the supermarket is actually a hybrid.
Yeah, because let me tell you about the hybrid. You remember them grapes they made, them cotton candy grapes? Nickel! This got to be man-made. Ain't no, Jesus did not say let them eat cotton candy grapes. And they were delicious.
And that's the whole thing of when we talk about the Piper's preference. Actually man-made. Man-made the Piper's preference. That's the government stamp on all the foods to actually get you addicted to it.
Absolutely. I said, I'm not eating that. That's like cocaine. I'm not doing that.
Exactly.
And another thing, if I could actually put basis on this as well too, when we talk about frozen fruit, be mindful
Yes.
and read your labels. Read your labels. Absorbic acid, if it doesn't say strawberries or blueberries,
Okay.
be mindful of absorbic acid. We don't want nothing that's actually you gonna put in a chemical in just to sustain shelf life.
Because what I do know is this, and I'm going to read next time I go. When you looking at ingredients on the back of the package, whatever comes first is what's in it most.
Of course.
So like if you turn this over and the first thing ain't pineapples and mangoes, we have a problem.
Of course.
But that's not what I
I'm gonna break this one here down to you because
It says 100% pineapple mango
Okay.
juice.
But they lied, but I want some
Yeah.
drink.
That's cool. See now you got it. But actually going into when we talk about the food, now let's talk about the figs because figs are phenomenal for the body.
Yeah, because what does my sister tell me to start sweetening my smoothies with dates?
Dates are from natural sugar, dates.
Yeah.
So now we talk about the figs, and I want to touch bases on the figs as well too. Even if you go to a Trader Joe's, you may see the black fig, of course. You may see the organic fig, but read that label. Read that label because that label may actually give you that fig that actually has a toxic shelf life.
Okay.
In it, right? It's potassium sorbate, not potassium, but potassium sorbate toxicity.
We need to have a class. I know you say we need to have a class.
Right.
Because think about when we was growing up, because we all about the same age group.
yeah, nobody taught us how to eat.
Not only that, you had oranges in orange season.
Of course.
You had strawberries in strawberry season. You had melons in melon season.
Right.
You had watermelons in watermelon season. And now, every time you go in the grocery store, you see strawberries every week, every day. It was like, where is this stuff coming from?
Because we was talking about the fruit the other day. Me and my daughter walked in the grocery store, and the lady was just picking up stuff and putting down stuff. And I was like, I don't know why you doing that. And she was like, well, I'm just trying to pick out a good one. I was like, they're all good. I was like, when I was little, we used to go to the grocery store, and if we wanted some peaches, it would be flies all around the peaches. They would be bruised up, brown. You would do this for about 15, 20 minutes before you find one or two good ones.
Yep.
I mean, you go to the grocery store now, the flies don't even want the fruit.
You sure right.
The gnats don't even
Think
want
about it.
Yeah.
So if they don't want it, you don't want it.
Because that's what I told him before you got here. I said the reason I don't bring fresh fruit, because you do fresh fruit for your smoothies?
Fresh fruit every day.
Because
see, I usually Mondays we go to the grocery store, so I will get as much fresh fruit as I can, chop
it
it
don't
all up,
last.
put it in a container.
And freeze it.
But in 2 or 3 days,
It's
I done
gone.
ran through it anyway.
Because I started getting blendables from HEB because I got sick of gnats.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you get gnats in your house, you can't get rid of them hoes. You just cannot.
You got to bomb the house a couple times with the door.
There's a little apple cider vinegar for them.
But see,
It's a trap. It's a trap.
But if it'll kill the gnats, it'll kill us.
Of course.
and if you take
Boom.
some of the fruit, put it in water
Like
and baking soda, it'll
Yeah.
kind of kill some of the germs that's on it.
So do you do organic fruit or do you care? Because now you got the organic section, then you got the regular fruit
I don't think
section.
none of it's organic.
Does it matter?
Of course.
It does.
It does matter. It does matter. Even though, again, like you say, everything in that supermarket is basically hybridized.
Yeah.
But what it is as far as on the food list that I actually have, ingesting these foods, taking away the lactic acid, uric acid, carbonic acid, starch, right? Taking these things away, it's not going to do as much harm within the system as such.
Right.
We're going to most of these big gigantic fruits and these big gigantic onions that you actually see.
Yeah.
Because we know basically those are full of, and even though you actually have, your apples, they'll be full of pesticides, herbicides. But the thing of it is now you gotta look at not just washing off the outside, but actually the inside.
Have y'all ever washed a apple and it's like wax?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't eat them.
first of all, my teeth can't do it no more. I'm raggedy. But it's like, what is on our food? That's probably why the flies don't want it.
Herbicides and pesticides, basically we have to make money when we farm it. We have to make money, we have to ship these foods, so we have to do what we have to do to actually conserve it. But just to get it to the consumer, because the consumer is hungry. So if the consumer basically don't know what they're actually purchasing, all they see is a big, bright, pretty cup,
Right.
right? And we see it just a fruit.
Yeah.
So even if we actually have kids, we have to feed these kids.
That's why
Okay.
these kids got titties, because
Of
they
course.
all them hormones in the
So
food.
now you're actually dealing with more animal testing, you're putting more animal hormones inside these foods. And so now, basically, you have young girls having their menstrual cycles early,
Very early.
because the breasts are developing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, when you actually give them these foods, right? You're giving them these foods, but basically, you don't know. And then you actually have the daily pressures. And I won't say it's life, a lot of people say it's life, but it's all about the choices.
Yeah.
It's all
Because
about
do
the
you
choices.
remember when we was kids, a chicken leg used to be real little. They grow chickens up in a week's time.
Of course.
And if the chickens are growing up in a week's time, when we consume it or when our kids consume it, that's why these kids look like little adults. That's why they act. You made a lot of sense. That's why my nephew be popping off.
And it's funny you talk about the
It's the
chickens.
food he
My
eats.
dad had a poultry farm, because he's from Ghana, and so he had a poultry farm in Sugar Land. And so a lot of the foreigners would come over, and and they pick your chicken, pluck it, take it out, and I tell people the chickens that are fresh taste totally
They
different.
do.
Like you would be so surprised how different that chicken tastes from the farm and the store.
Yeah, because your daddy got the chickens. And these people in the store got chickenettes. So we're going to do a round table. I don't have no advice because I just learned a whole lot of new stuff today. I'm going to have to go read my blendables in a bag. I'm going to have to second guess my protein shake that I put in my smoothie because y'all don't even put protein in y'all's. I know y'all know. I'm not going to ask. What advice would y'all give to somebody who's trying to change their lifestyle, especially us as a people, trying to change their lifestyle for the better? What advice would you give? We just gonna start at the end and work that way down. And you doing keto, so you just taking advice. You really
Now I got to
that's
switch though, because now I've learned some things.
I would basically say, don't focus so much on carbohydrate, proteins, and fats.
okay.
Focus more on minerals, iron for the blood, calcium, phosphorus for the bones, boron for the brain, magnesium when we're actually dealing with anxiety, depression, right? I would actually say start focusing on more of ingesting and not calorie counting.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is basically within the nutritional program, work on your cells. Don't buy a detox, whether it's in a tea bag, whether it's in this jug, with this, and I have to address this with this honey, the cinnamon, the lemon, whatever it is they put in this jug, because it's actually stressing the pancreas out, because it's concentrated sugars. Start focusing on detoxing and revitalizing the liver, cells in the liver, cells in the kidneys, high blood pressure. That's a major form of high blood pressure because we're talking about two arteries that can actually be clogged.
Okay.
Right? So that's a whole nother story right there. Start focusing more on spirituality, the physical aspect. Build your bones. And when I say build your bones, that's the thing right there as far as the physical fitness. Build the bones.
Okay.
Because there's no need that a physician has to actually go into the bone marrow when we're talking about cancer, right? Pulling cells out. If we build the bones, healthy red blood cells will automatically develop.
Good
and understand that it's red
word.
and it's actually yellow bone marrow as well, right?
Good word.
So take care of that. Once you alkaline the system, now you have no acid erosion. So getting away from lactic acid that's in the muscle. If we go to a certain point, we go to a certain extent, right, and we don't work out. So basically all the lactic acid that's building in the muscle, what you have is now anaerobic fermentation that's without oxygen.
Okay.
The muscles have no oxygen, so we can't go. Same thing is with keto. So now you have to ask yourself, if you're doing keto, what's going to happen at least when my blood gets too acidic? And the thing too, know your pH. Know your pH. If you actually have gout, if you're suffering from gout, know that any form of meat, right, that's uric acid.
Yeah.
That's uric acid. It's not going away and coming back, going away and coming back. It's accumulating. It's accumulating over time. And understand when we talk about arthritis as well too. And I'm just touching bases because I deal with this a lot. Rheumatoid, that's waste in the muscle. Arthritis is waste in the joints.
Okay.
Right? So I don't want nobody to get snowed basically from the physician. And I keep saying the physician because our minds are so programmed. Every time it's just to go to the physician, go to the physician. Start focusing more on getting these herbs into your system. Natural.
Can y'all do me a favor? Write down the herbs, like when the show is over, go on the comments and write down the herbs that heal what. Or a link from YouTube that'll explain. Because I was watching Dr. Sadie, like I said, because he said vitamin C is not needed. Because all the herbs you spoke about, I heard him speak about it, and it's like each herb heals something. And what does vitamin C heal? Nothing, because vitamin C is not in our bodies.
It's basically just like a fortified milk. So if
Yeah,
you tell an
that's what he
athlete,
said.
you see a lot of athletes that actually promote this chocolate milk, feeding your muscles protein and chocolate milk. Well, the thing of it is, when you feed your muscles already an acid, an acidic substance, the muscle basically won't function properly down the road. You're still going to have the same issues. You got to put oxygen within the muscles. So you feed your muscles calcium for contraction, electricity from the herbs. Electricity. We're talking electricity now. That's where your muscles move. Your muscles won't move until the nerves tell the muscles to move.
And your nerves is here.
Nerves here. So you have, going science, you have a two-way system, right? You have motor and you have sensory. But at the same time, now when we're talking motor, we're talking from the brain down to the body, right?
Come on now.
So when we're talking karate, now we're talking about going to the brain. Now we're getting lack of oxygen. If you ever see somebody who basically faints a lot, now we have clogged arteries. So we have less oxygen going to the brain. So we have less oxygen going to the brain. Now we got to look at poor blood circulation. And that's from a lot of waste from the junk food diet.
A lot of processed stuff, a lot of prepackaged food.
A lot of processed food.
So y'all don't eat prepackaged stuff, like stuff that come in the box, something ready, set, go.
Oh no. Everything on this list you actually have to prepare it.
So give me your advice.
Your mouth got you in this trouble. Your mouth got you in this trouble.
Your mouth.
And your mouth is the only one that's gonna get you out of this trouble. Stop putting stuff in.
It's work. That's real talk. It's real talk. So, I guess I'm gonna make some changes.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
Hold on. Let me go here. We're gonna talk about a little penis health real quick.
Go ahead.
You already hit that.
Oh, you already hit that?
No, but again, because I said I need y'all not to eat the meat so your meat will work.
Because it's a lot of guys always ask me like, what do you do for this? They don't want to really come out and say, I'm having this issue. But this is what it is. Like, look, you gotta get zinc. You need some zinc. You definitely need to, I forgot my train of thought.
Come on, we talk about penis health. Come on, talk about penis health. I need to know penis health.
A lot of milling in you. Watermelon, cantaloupe. I forgot my thought that fast.
That's it. That was gonna be good. Because when he first came in, he was talking about erectile dysfunction.
Right, but what men and women, y'all need to understand is whatever you eat, whatever you drink,
You always eat.
at the end of the day, once it breaks down and liquefies, it has to come out of your penis or your vagina. So at that point in time, if the artery is this big, you start to calcify it. So it starts to close up, which causes the erection not to stand as
That's why you man be not working. Look at that.
Exactly. As well as the woman, you don't you're not as ready as you're supposed to be. Let's say it like that.
You're not ready to go. You like because they try to say that when women get older,
You want out.
they're not aroused. They don't feel like it.
That's not true.
That's not true.
I feel sorry for those.
I think the
That's a whole nother topic.
yeah.
We can do it on another day because I don't have any issue. Hashtag I'm just saying.
And
Hashtag that.
that's the thing too. A lot of people don't feel like they have those type of issues. You know what I'm saying? Like with a man, people don't know like if this is your hand. Well, as a man, from 18 to 20, well, from birth to 20, this is where your penis stands. And from 20 to 30, this is where your penis stands. And from 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, this is the way that your penis stands. As a man.
What do you mean?
I got it.
Like,
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So what he's saying is you gonna get smaller.
No, you're not gonna get smaller.
What
It's
is-
just you're not gonna have the strength.
Okay.
Your penis starts here, and then as you get older, the strength of it starts to go down.
Damn, that's sad. That's what I'm saying.
But you can still have an erection. You can still have an erection.
Gotcha.
But right, it's just not as strong as it was when you were younger. But that's due to the calcification.
So when you change your diet,
Of course.
you
It'll
get
go back
it'll
strong.
strengthen up. Because
Right.
like people who work out, because I like to get in the gym, but like your muscles have memory.
Right.
So even if you have been out the gym forever, the moment you get back in and you do what your muscles remember it and they pop right back into place. So your penis got memory if you eat right. Good God, what are you doing? I don't need y'all to I'm a man. And if you have erectile dysfunction, I'm gonna say it because I'm the girl on the panel and she and I.
And the crazy part
Be
about it
honest.
is, the erectile dysfunction has. I've had guys talk to me as young as 23, 24.
Oh, wow.
Because their diets are terrible and it's something that's in the weed.
They would say pre-diabetes or type 1 diabetes. That all goes to
Yeah, I'm too young for the people.
dehydration, pulling moisture out of the nerves. So for anybody, basically erectile, anything you want to deal with, herbalgenesis at gmail.com.
One more time.
Herbalgenesis.
Okay.
Herbalgenesis at gmail.com.
I'm gonna post it.
And just email me. And just email me. And that's how I basically go about
So after today, are you still ketoing?
I'm not. Gotta rethink some things. So the apple cider vinegar's out because I'm just doing that for no reason, apparently. So that's gonna stop.
Well, I think it works, but what I also like, just like we were talking about, chemotherapy. It works, but it kills everything else. So because it's flattening your stomach and it's doing what it's supposed to do, it's so high and.
Well, the thing of it is, basically, the body is dynamic. If you give me an antibiotic, it's an acidic procedure. Antibiotics really don't work. What it is when you catch inflammation is basically the body sweating because it's trying to pull nutrients from other parts of the body. So when you give me this medication, or basically when it's chemo, even the apple cider vinegar, what's happening is the body is so dynamic, it's actually able to adapt. But think about it. You cannot cure me with a 12-hour prescription. You cannot cure me by telling me to take all of these antibiotics. Make sure you take all of them.
Yep.
The being is because now you're breaking down my immune system.
Okay.
If you actually have a population, right? My immune system is broke down. I shake my brother's hand. Now next week he gets sick. Which means you get sick. Then you get sick. Everybody here gets sick because what happens is our immune system basically now is all the way broke down. And now you actually have, I got this bug going around. Well, basically the immune system has been constantly breaking down from a lot of the acid. So now the first line of defense actually going in is the tonsils. Most people have their tonsils out. So what happens when the food comes down, now we're looking at the mucus. So when the mucus lining is basically obstructed, mucus flowing with the blood, so we have to purify the blood. But now if the mucus line is obstructed, high levels of carbon within the digestive system now.
Okay.
Now we're going into the immune system. Once the immune system is actually broke down, now we are getting sick. And that's another issue right there.
Yes, I got a question. Either one of y'all can answer it. Before we get I'm just saying benediction. So I do have, lately I've been struggling with having mucus or whatever sitting on my vocal cords. When I'm singing on Sunday mornings, I know I have to a lot to try to get it off. What can I take out my diet, or what can I add to my diet, or what can I do differently to get rid of that?
Basically, I have a herb soap that can get rid of that.
Okay.
Period. Because what it is just mucus. Mucus actually travels within these tubes.
Okay.
Mucus is actually trapped within the tubes. So now I'm actually going into, when you say the diet, just basically getting rid of the acids.
Okay.
So if you might want to get rid of the alcohol, get rid of the meats. See?
I will if I have to. Oh, let me get my last.
It's no peppermint that actually do the job. And I've already heard peppermint, but just saying.
Because I don't do that. I don't do peppermint. I don't do lemon.
Of course.
What I normally do is ginger and honey. But you said honey is out. I should use
the honey. That's a concentrated sugar.
Okay.
Right. So anything, all acids basically going to obstruct that mucous membrane. So now when you have obstruction in that mucous membrane, now it goes to that mucus is actually flowing with that blood. So now going back to the pancreas. Pancreas can't recognize the blood sugar that's actually within the body system itself.
Yeah, that's what they
So
need
now
metformin.
you talk about metformin.
And they make you
the thing
sleep.
of it is now it's just the mucus flowing with the blood. The mucus is actually flowing over the cells in the pancreas. Now we have pancreatitis. Now we basically, the pancreas can't even recognize and bring the sugar levels up. Insulin or glucagon actually bring it down.
Okay.
You You see where we going with it?
Okay,
So
okay.
mucus is basically the main factor in this.
It's like when your body's trying to fight, you develop the mucus.
So when you flaming out, when you constantly flaming out,
That's where you go.
yes,
You need to take me.
okay, yeah. See, when you constantly
He
flaming
said
out,
he showed me the herbs.
Okay. So we need to.
And not the herbs I talked about last week. These herbs.
and see, we can even go to that too when we talk about arthritis, when we talk about autism. You know, when we talk about those type of illnesses to actually go to the herb itself.
High blood pressure runs in my family, but I don't have it.
Right.
By the grace of God, I don't have it. Alzheimer's also runs in my family.
Nothing runs in the family.
But that's what he was saying. It's what we eat.
So it's not
All eat the
hereditary.
same thing.
Right. So they will tell you
They'll
basically,
say it's hereditary, it's in
any
your
health
family.
setting, hereditary is not reversible. Diabetes is not reversible.
That's a
The
lie.
thing of it is when you actually hear somebody say, well, my dad gave me this, my dad gave me that. True indeed, because the sperm is actually sick. True indeed.
Oh!
That's what hereditary
That
is.
is the benediction time. You know why you sick? Because your daddy's sperm was sick. It was infected. It passed. Boom, you got it. But you can heal yourself with these herbs and a healthier lifestyle. So if you don't want to be sick, you want to get the antibiotic of the herbs and a healthy diet will change your daddy's sperm. What? Look at the Lord. I'm telling you, this has been a great show.
But in actuality,
It's the truth.
it is the truth. But the woman gave him the food, which made him sit down and eat it.
If
And
your
this caused his sperm to get sick. That he shot back into the woman. That caused you to have
But
a child.
before he met the woman, he was eating chocolate. That was his mama fault. But thank y'all for coming. We could go on and on for this, but you know what I want to do? Let's do it in July, if you can. Everybody bring something. Okay, you giving us information. We have information now. We'll come together and like have a smoothie that we make, or bring some herbs, or you say you can do like 3 different salads. Let's give the people an example of a lifestyle change, because I'm a visual learner. I'm visual, so we can get in the kitchen and do it. We don't have to do it here. We can do it someplace else. I don't care. I'm trying to live a long time, and I'm not trying to deal with some of the things that my mom dealt with or my dad dealt with, because I believe you can heal your body if you change your lifestyle.
Of course.
And once again, your mom got you in this trouble.
Yes, I do like chocolate chip cookies, but I'm gonna let them go. I'll let them go. But thank y'all so much. Okay, Brandy, you remember it's almost your time. Remember the laugh? Oh, wait. Next week we're just gonna do Facebook News. But the week after that, we're gonna talk about the Central Park 5 when they see us.
Oh, man.
We're gonna sit down, we're gonna watch the movie, do our research separately, and come together and have a conversation, because I don't want to get into it. We're gonna do the Central Park 5, not next week, because that's Father's Day, the week after that. So please tune in to that. They got 40 million, but I don't think that was enough. So that's a great conversation. So get ready. Remember to laugh. Remember to love. Thank you guys for coming. Remember to be the light and always bear good fruit. Good fruit, not the
Seeded fruit.
The seeded fruit. You know, the fruit that's not man-made. The fruit that ain't a Giselle and an apple together. And remember to be the light and always bear good fruit. This is hashtag I'm just saying. God bless you. Have a great one.
It's gonna be alright. So hold it down. Have your back.
Had to hear people tell me that I was good enough. Oh, but I don't need no friends to create my vibe.